Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another The Sports Scoop video. It is still interview Kian as I am not home yet. So I'm carrying my mic around like I'm an interviewer, but that's what analysts have to do. I'm joined by Serge. Serge, how you doing today?
I'm good. Thanks for asking.
Serge back. So I'm not back. I've been recording, but we're back recording together. My only videos here have been alone. But enough with the jibber jabber. Today, as you saw by the title, we were talking about CJ Henderson, Jaguars cornerback, selected 9th overall last year in the first round. Very highly rated cornerback coming out of Florida, who Serge may now be traded, as the Jaguars, I think, are actively shopping him. News kind of came up suddenly. I was really caught by surprise. I mean, this offseason has, I guess the past few offseason have been nothing but surprising. Is definitely a good way to pros. But again, today we're going to be breaking down kind of the whole trade situation, what we think about it, and as well giving possible landing spots. There have been a couple, and it's really funny because a lot of them are like teams that have had really good secondaries, and now they've just lost all of them, like the Steelers, the Eagles, all of them who now need corners. But yeah, make sure you guys do subscribe to the channel as well. Follow us on social media and get in the comments. Let us know what you guys think. But as always, we're doing a quick video, so do spare some time. Serge, when you look at this kind of situation, what do you think, and what are your thoughts on really him exiting or possibly exiting Jacksonville, early?
Well, I'm obviously surprised considering he was from the ninth overall pick last season. I think for him to be shopped around so early when obviously it was like a pretty quiet season for CJ Henderson. We didn't really hear too
Yeah,
much about him
exactly.
and
That's a good
didn't
way to put it.
really tear the league to shreds. Didn't do
Yeah.
horribly though. I think the reason why is we talked. I was looking at some reports on this, and it's really not that CJ Henderson and the Jaguars are on a bad report or anything like that. They're fine, but Jacksonville, they're confident some of their other cornerback guys. Like remember, they did sign Shaquille Griffin in free
Yeah.
agency, and they have other young quarterbacks as well, and they're comfortable enough to quote unquote dangle CJ Henderson as part of trade bait, maybe to get something else, another position that they can strengthen, possibly on the offensive side of the ball to help a young budding quarterback like Trevor Lawrence. But I think CJ Henderson, I think there are a lot of teams that that are pretty cornerback needy. I think that a lot of teams would be interested in low risk, high potential quarterback like CJ Henderson. I think his value will be down a little bit considering again he's getting traded so early. I could see like maybe him being worth a second round pick at this point. Considering he hasn't done enough to prove that he's still first round pick worthy.
Yeah, I'm not sure why they're calling him Jackson. They're calling him Jackson in Jacksonville.
Yeah,
As
that's
Okay, I'm
just
assuming they're talking about Henderson. Maybe we're complete. All right, never mind. But that's off the point. Yeah, so 22 years old, as you see by the article. I mean, again, it doesn't seem like it's I would say Aaron Rodgers like situation, or something where it's like concerning, in terms of kind of the relationship between the organization and the player. It just seems like, I think he was, obviously the COVID season really is just tough to overcome. You guys hear my take. Obviously, corner is my favorite position, and it's just something only really the elite guys are able to. There's much difference between what CJ Henderson did, where translate to the NFL, but you're not that good. You're quiet, as we talked about, Serge. He didn't really do much. And then the Jalen Ramseys, who immediately are fantastic. It's the hardest position, and I'll say it's the hardest position to translate to the NFL because the difference in talent that you're facing is just so vast. And for CJ Henderson, someone who I love coming out, obviously Jeff Okudah was the main guy, but CJ Henderson, a lot of people even had as a cornerback one. So to me, if I can trade a 4th round pick for this guy, 3rd round pick, and even that a 3rd round pick's a lot. I'm doing that all day. I don't know about you, Serge, but like if I'm the Jets right now, you have space. You're kind of in a year where, like, if you do bad, it's not terrible, but also you have potential to do very, very good. I would say one of the more underrated organizations. Like, I'm going and getting that. If you're the Steelers, you already have a great defense. Mentor this guy. You have Minkah Fitzpatrick behind him. Joe Hayden, who'll be here for at least this year. I mean, the Eagles, you have Darius Slay. Like, I would go and do these moves. Like, this to me is the classic. This guy's young. He's 22. And if he goes to the right team, he'll pan out like we saw. Like, he'll show the potential we saw he had at Florida. Big fan of CJ Henderson. I think if you're a team, go get this guy. Unless the asking price is too high, which it doesn't seem like it is.
Yeah, I could see this guy though. If obviously the Jets would be a nice destination, but I think for a defense for a team that wants to get TJ Henderson, I could see him as maybe going to like a young budding defense where he could be like a second quarterback, second this is number 2 cornerback on the team. Considering, remember, he is still a project. He still does have concerns. Obviously, with tackling, that was his main concern out of college. It doesn't seem right now. Obviously, isn't that elite cornerback, so he's going to need some mentoring and some grooming. So I could see him obviously in some other teams we heard him going to is maybe a team like the Cowboys or a team like the Saints, who maybe probably need someone opposite to Marshawn Lattimore.
Yeah.
And I think those would be. I think the Saints in particular would be a good one because the Saints already have a solid secondary with Marcus Williams, obviously Lattimore, but you want to maybe improve the cornerback area considering it isn't very deep. But I think to get a guy like Henderson, who obviously it's a low risk move, like you said, Key, and I think a minimum value it's gonna be a 4th-round pick. You have to give up at least that, but maximum maybe only like probably a second. I doubt anyone would trade a 1st-round pick for CJ Henderson, but I think that'd be worth it for someone who is that high potential. So I think it'd be a good move for a team like not a team that like needs a cornerback right now, a cornerback number 1. He isn't that guy, but someone who really can afford to use a pick on a development type of guy like a CJ Henderson.
Yeah, no, I mean, 100% agree here. I think it's kind of a situation where it's for the Jaguars could be a massive win. I mean, like you said, if you can get a 1st-round selection for this guy, that's a massive, massive win. I mean, look, Jacksonville again are kind of that team where they don't have much to lose. Like you're not expecting to make the playoffs. You have the Colts and the Titans in your division. There's not much like you can really do. You're not going to be winning much. And obviously, the Texans who are pretty bad, like you're expecting 3rd place for the Jaguars. You're expecting maybe 5-6 wins with Lawrence. And then next year, again, like I was saying with the Jets, it's this year, it's all about, building and then you go on. And I think for what we've seen from this organization is very sad. You draft 1st-round corners and then you end up trading them. Look, I mean, I was saying next year just take Stingley, and then when he becomes great, you'll do the Jalen Ramsey and trade him away to a good team for picks. That's what Jacksonville seemed to do here with cornerbacks. I mean, look, yeah, it's tough. I mean, I think it's a hard break, especially for a kind of a rookie guy. I think it's kind of that Tua Tagovailoa situation where it's like he only had 1 year. Why are you trading him? And I think for corners, you have to give them, I would argue you have to give them just about as much time as you give quarterbacks. It's so hard to translate. I'd say those 2 positions are really hard to translate to. And I think CJ Henderson, someone who, Serge, we know we are very, very high voice 13-year-old selves. And we did our breakdown. I know you're cringing, our breakdowns of the draft, our first videos. Like I love CJ Henderson. I think the Jaguars getting there is a great pick. Argued to be better than Okudah, has the length, has the speed, has those, ball skills, has kind of all those traits to be a good corner. I think it was I think it's, again, for Jacksonville, may not be the smartest move, but for a team, it could be a gem of a selection. Serge, what are some of the teams, to wrap the video, what are some teams you would like to see him go to? Is Jets one of them? And what would your kind of range of trade value be for him?
I think the Jets might not make sense at the moment, considering the fact that, again, we're looking for a number 1 guy. And obviously, maybe there aren't that many out there, but I feel like we already have some nice young developmental cornerbacks, and the defense already looks pretty good. So I think we're okay in that facet for now. I think a Saints are a team I'd really like to see him go to. I think Dallas would be another nice team, considering they didn't really address cornerback last season. I think Philadelphia, I think that'd be a good landing spot to maybe land with Darius Slay. Maybe he could be like a mentor for him. Those are some of the teams. I think what you want is like maybe a team that has like not much to lose, a team that already can have someone that CJ Henderson really can rely on to help clean up. You also want to go to a team that maybe has good safeties, like someone who can kind of bail you out many times. So I think a team like that, man, I feel they don't really have that great safeties right now, but I mean, they do have Anthony Harris actually. So they they do have a good free safety. So I think teams like that would be probably a good landing spot for a guy like a CJ Henderson, and we'll see what happens. Cause I think if, like he had said, he does have potential still to pan out even after a kind of disappointing rookie season.
Yeah, so my 2 teams, and kind of as we've started to progress through the video, I would really, really like the Jets to trade for him. And I know, Serge, I've recently, whenever I'm recording with you, have just been advocating for the Jets, and I'm a Giants fan, so it's not like I have some certain connection to them. They're one of my underrated teams for this season, and I think, again, continue that great offseason. I think if they got CJ Henderson, that would cap off a great offseason. You rebuilt that offensive line. You got Zach Wilson, who you hope is going to be your future guy. Elijah Moore literally looks like a God-sent gift to the Jets now, which I just, like when the Jets draft Elijah Moore, I was like, He's not even the best slot receiver. And now I'm like, holy crap, this guy's the best receiver in the draft. He looks fantastic. I know we're not talking about Elijah Moore, but if you guys want to check out that, we did actually do a video on Elijah Moore. But yeah, look, CJ, I think, again, for a team like the Jets where you don't have much to lose, he's still on his rookie deal. You're not going to be paying him that much. And if he pans out, you have the money to pay him in the future. At least you hope you do, unless you win the Super Bowl within the next 2 years. But look, again, the other team to me would be the Steelers, because I think in terms of if you want to grow this guy, put him on the best defense or one of the best defenses in the NFL, Minkah Fitzpatrick. We've seen how good defensive backs can prosper in Pittsburgh and still be severely underrated like Minkah Fitzpatrick is. So look, CJ Henderson, I think if you're CJ Henderson right now, you're going to go with whatever happens. I don't think it's necessarily a bad situation that you're getting traded out of Jacksonville, who won't be fantastic. And I think it'll be another one where, like, Minkah was not on a good team, got traded to a fantastic Pittsburgh team, and then you get to play with quality players, go to the playoffs. So I think it'll be a CJ Henderson-like situation. I'm very high hopes on him. I mean, I think he will do well, but that was it for the video search. Quick little breakdown there. If you guys want to go check out our mock draft we posted yesterday as well, we do still have our 2021 team previews coming out. They will start to be pumped out very fast since the season is, I think, 32 days away, specifically today.
Yep.
So it's close. Like, we're going to have a ton of, we only do NFL, but a ton of content will be coming. So make sure you guys do subscribe to the channel. Like I say every video, if you made it to the end, you must have enjoyed. So do make sure to subscribe and follow us on social media. This is Key McDermott, Serge Crowley, the Sports Scoop analyst. And we will see you in the next video. Let us know what you think about CJ Henderson in the comments down below, and drop a like as well, or dislike. I mean, look, can't be mad if you didn't like it. It's your choice. But we'll see you next time. Thank you so much for watching.